Welcome to Women in the Middle Entrepreneurs, the podcast that gives you an unfiltered behind-the-scenes look at what it's really like being a woman in the middle who's over 50 and following her entrepreneurial dreams. Grab a superhero cape, girlfriend, because you deserve one. I'm your host, Master Certified Life Coach and Midlife Mentor, Suzy Rosenstein, and I am excited to inspire you with interviews that feature all of this midlife amazingness. Let's go. Hey there, welcome back to the show. We have another really exciting interview ahead of us about loving all things nutrition and wellness. Today, you'll be meeting Jessy George, a woman in the middle entrepreneur who helps entrepreneurs and professionals who struggle with lack of energy, type 2 diabetes, or weight issues to create a healthy lifestyle without deprivation or going to the gym. Welcome to the show, Jessy. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Suzy.
Thank you for being patient with me, Jessy, as I bumbled our first intro. I really appreciate that. I know we're going to have a lot of fun today. A really great conversation about your midlife entrepreneur story. We're going to be talking about your business, what's going really well, and also what midlife issues might be popping up here and there, might be getting in your way to some extent and challenging you a little bit in the way you want to run your business. So let's start with my favorite question, how old you are, how long you've been an entrepreneur, a little bit about your journey, and what it is that you actually do. Take it away.
I am 57 years old, soon to be 58.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I am from India. I'm an electrical engineer and came to US, took a master's and switched profession to software engineering and cruising along as a regular, corporate employee without any problem and living with the diabetes. Life kept on going until I hit a place where I was getting overweight. Sugar issues were causing problems and life didn't look promising forward. And then I lost my job.
Oh,
that was kind of like a rock bottom for me. So being an engineer, I didn't feel like sitting at home doing nothing. And it was hard to find a job that time. And also, when you lose a job, it's not easy to step into another one, like applying here and those things. But I was so uncomfortable in my own body and my health, I decided I want to change my lifestyle. I wanted to be healthy because I have 2 children. Those were born later in life. So I wanted to be in their life, in their milestones, all to celebrate. So I said, I'm going to change my lifestyle. And I was diabetic for 17 years at that time. I had asthma for all my life and edema, high blood pressure, so much medications I was on. I was very depressed when the job loss came because I didn't know what to do. I'm just no family support here, just me, husband, and my kids. Felt very depressed. So when I decided to make my lifestyle change, I just went all in. Within 3 months, I reversed the type 2 diabetes of 17 years.
With 3 months?
It only took 3 months to get back to the, non-diabetic range. So doctor was so impressed, went along like that and took off many medications that I was on. I felt excited. I said, I have to learn more about this. So I started taking classes in the community college. Took a certification. I declared to my family that I'm going to start a business. I want to help others.
Wow.
There it started. But there was, like every business doesn't just bloom when you start. It takes time to build the business up. So I decided to go back to work full time and build my business on the side. So I've been in business for 3 years since I started, but actively coaching for the last 2.5 years. Yeah.
Wow. You mean businesses don't just at a blink of an eye just bloom? Come on now. That's why I like talking about the journey, because there is such a journey. And then in midlife, there's even more hiccups. So what would you say with your coaching? What does a typical coaching experience look like with you? Like, who is this classic person coming for help?
I do individual coaching and group coaching. People who come to me are either type 2 diabetic or want to lose weight. So experience is like I do a 1-hour coaching every week. I converse with them, find out what challenges they have and how are they dealing with it now and how we can better it. I talk about progress over perfection. So we make something called action plans that they can take every week. Instead of dumping a ton of things on them, we do small steps. I call them micro improvements
Mm-hmm.
to mega result, micro improvements that leads to big results and success.
What would you say is a common micro result that people are wanting, that you know that you can get them some help with quickly?
We start with drinking water. Many of the people don't drink water enough to hydrate their body. They drink barely enough to quench thirst. But our body is built of water. Lots of, even blood is 70% water. We need to drink water enough to keep our body hydrated. Not over drinking, but enough to keep us going and so that we have more energy. Water gives actually energy.
I love that. What's so funny is when we both hopped on the call, we both needed to run to the washroom because we were drinking our water. So we bonded a little bit right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting in my coaching practice, working with women over 50 who are busy entrepreneurs. And so many people don't even recognize that they're thirsty, because water comes up a lot for people. Sleep comes up a lot. The basic things that we used to have under control, we don't have under control anymore. So to even notice that you're hungry or thirsty, like to see, okay, I'm something, what is it? And oftentimes it is thirst. There's so many reasons we don't drink when we're thirsty and we actually recognize it. So what are some of the reasons you've heard other than the obvious, I'm too busy, which is just ridiculous?
Mostly that is the reason.
Yeah.
I don't want to. One of my clients told me, if I'm going somewhere, I don't drink water because I don't want to go to the bathroom. So that's one thing. So that person tries to drink a lot of water, either before or after. I mean, I don't advise that because we're going to eliminate a lot of minerals when we go to the bathroom. If you do like that, we don't want to come to that stage. So I always say spread it throughout the day.
Yeah.
So body can absorb the water and do its work.
It's so crazy that something so basic like that can be such a powerful improvement and also something that so many of us struggle with. I mean, this has been on my agenda now for 2 years to really focus on drinking water. And I was surprised at how much mindset work I needed to do and just really slowing things down to notice when I am really thirsty. So that's so great that you focus on that. So tell me a little bit about what happened for you. Like, was there another really big change that you made personally that got you such a fast result? Because that was a fast result.
That there isn't anything that I did other than that, other than praying and meditating. I felt like God was telling me this was time for me to love me more rather than running after another job or finding, that kind of satisfaction. Because I had edema, my feet was always swollen. I had high blood pressure and high blood sugar, and I was gaining weight. Then I got depressed. Like family back in India had many issues. My dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, sister had a cardiac arrest, lots of things. So I just kind of like got really depressed in my life too. That didn't help to my blood pressure or anything.
Wow.
Because it was all getting bad. That was really hard for my feet being swollen. I eat food, dinner, and then I don't know what I'm doing. I'm asleep before I know anything in the couch. We all sit together, watch TV or something, and I'm asleep before we know anything. That was my story. Now I don't watch TV. Anyway, I don't need to. There is nothing that I need to know immediately. If I need to know, somebody will tell me. And I don't fall asleep anymore after eating dinner or any meals. So that's another success that I had. And I have more energy than when I was in the 30s when I raised my children.
Oh, I mean, there's nothing on Netflix that you need to know?
I don't have Netflix.
Oh, sometimes I feel like there's something on there I need because that can.
Yeah, so.
But like you, it's very easy to fall asleep when you're not paying attention to taking care of yourself.
That's right. Yeah. Like I said, for me, that was one of the things that I suffered with. Like I couldn't stay up for long after a meal. I had a sugar crash. So I always fell asleep and couldn't go hiking or anything with my family because of my asthma and all allergies I had. But now I can. I can see what they see now. That's amazing.
That's so great. Now, one of the things you mentioned in your notes is I asked how it shows up for you that you've noticed being an older woman affects being an entrepreneur. And you mentioned lack of confidence sometimes, not because of being overweight, not because of eating well, but because of lack of time. Can you explain that a little bit?
Right now, I'm okay, but it always feels like I have to do this, that, and everything, and don't have enough time for me. But I prioritize me. I have a morning 1 hour just me time. If I don't get that, then I feel kind of like the day is out of my hand. I'm not productive. I don't feel like I achieved anything.
So, what was that like for you to even carve that hour out? Because that sounds like that's one of the changes that you made.
Yeah, it was not easy because as a mom of two kids, what as soon as I wake up, what I do is make tea for my husband, prepare kids' meals, lunch, make things ready, and get them out of the house for their school. Then I go to work. So that's what our routine was. By God's grace, children got older, so I started packing lunch the night ahead. I did a lot of changes so that I could have my own time. So
Wow.
I
And so
prioritize
packing the big
reorganized everything.
that's great. So that big shift for you was being able to do it at night, and that freed you up more in the morning.
Yeah. And for my husband and I packed the lunch for all the 5 days on Saturday itself.
What? How'd you do that?
Saturday is my cooking and meal prepping day. So I pack, freeze, refrigerate everything on Saturday for everybody. Yeah. The veggies for the snack and everything. Everything gets prepared on Saturday.
Jessy, that's impressive.
I have to be during the 5 days work week. I want more time for me and do the things I want to do. I don't want to be in the kitchen cooking and stuff like that. And when we get home, kids are hungry. They want food. I don't want to cook while kids waiting and stuff. So it makes easier.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell us a little bit about what you want next in your business. What are your plans?
My plans are writing. I'm writing my book. I want to publish that soon. One of my dreams is to touch 1 million lives in the next 10 years, either, supporting them somehow and helping people either lose weight or reverse type 2 diabetes. You don't need to be overweight to have diabetes, but you can still get diabetes. So it's about supporting people through eating and, healthy lifestyle.
And how do you see your business changing in any way? Like, I know to touch more people, you're probably going to have to scale in some
I
way.
do. I do. I
Yeah.
want, right now I'm only coaching and slowly expand, like that COVID is kind of in the meant I'm getting outside. Like I'm teaching a class in the library this Saturday, tomorrow. So I'm going to put myself out there supporting the community more. That's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to start. I want to expand locally before going, because I want to build that relationship with the people, understand people. There are so many people I can help right in my neighborhood, right? So I'm going to start like this teaching classes at library, not about nutrition or anything, about mindfulness, about living a lifestyle that is, like I said, 1 hour in the morning carving out and just being with us, understanding us more than what is going on in our mind, what emotions are popping up in the morning in this quietness, right? Nobody is around us. And what are you thinking? And how can you reframe your mind so that you can have a productive day, happy day, a good day, where you take action proactively to make that day better?
Do you remember the actual thing that you decided to think on purpose when you started to make your serious changes?
Yeah, when I put my foot on the floor from the bed, I would say, thank you, God, that I'm awake today. I'm not dead. My feet are on the floor, not in the coffin. I'm grateful. Then I think about my gratefulness a little bit before I get out of the bed. And I thank for my family. Thank God for my family, my children. After that, I come down into my little area where I sit, where I meditate, pray, write some gratefulness, journaling, all those things.
So a gratitude practice was one of the main things that made a
That's right.
significant impact for you.
Yeah, because when I'm grateful for things, I cannot complain because I am in that mood for seeing the goodness in my life rather than complaining. I don't have this, I don't have that. I have so many things that I can be grateful for. I came from India from nothing. And here it is like abundance, everything. And we all want more. And I don't want more anymore. I keep telling me, no, no, you don't need anything anymore. You're good.
I love that.
Yeah, that's the desire. Human desire is wanting more, fear of missing out. We want this, that, and everything, right? But we don't. I keep telling me, hey, you came with nothing, you're going to go with nothing. Just impact lives. That's more than things, right? That we want. Just see what I can do to support the community, the church I am going, things like that.
That's
Gives me
beautiful.
more satisfaction.
Yeah. What you're saying about getting out in your community more, I think I'd love to hear you talk about COVID, that COVID phase that we've all been through, because I certainly am starting to feel it too, like I'm craving people. I really love working at home. And for many people, it was a blessing to be able to work at home and to reimagine their careers that way. Coaching is very flexible career. So you can work at home, you can work with people. But I was inspired by you just saying the library, because the library has been such a source of community gathering and education for a very long time. So what are your ideas about how you're going to get with people more now that COVID is not the same as it was? It's pretty under control.
I want to teach cooking lessons. That's one of them. At home or rent a place. So I'm looking into seeing how I can get a grant or something so that I can serve the community, to teach them how to cook simple meals, which doesn't involve a ton of, you don't need to be a super chef to cook simple meals, tasty meals. And you don't have to stand in the line for 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes to in the McDonald's or wherever you go. You don't need to do that. You can do it faster at home, but you have to plan ahead, think ahead, do the shopping, and then the cooking process doesn't take much time.
That's so good. Well, I hope that you find something that really suits your needs, that kind of a space. Not everybody has that kind of a space, but I know I can think now we have a couple of them that I'm aware of. So that will be really good.
Right now in the coming month, I'm going to India and coming back. Then I will think about it. I have to apply to your, if I'm doing at home, I have to do an application to the county to get permission. If they allow that, I can do just 5 people at a time in our house instead of renting a place. So I'm going to look into that. They have to come inspect the house or whatever they have to do.
There's such a learning curve with everything, right? So so to even do this in your house, like right away, it sounds easier, but then there's a big learning curve for even that.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. There is no question about it. I want to do it. It's been in my mind for a long time. Because of the COVID, we couldn't get together.
Yeah.
So I put it away, for now. I was doing online videos of cooking on Facebook Live and stuff during COVID time to help people eat healthy and nutritious meals. I was teaching that.
Oh, Jessy, that's so good. Now, one of the things I asked in your application was, what are the real important points you want to make? And you said very succinctly, mindset and meals. And here you go, right?
Yeah, I call them 3 M's or M3s, mindset, meals, and movement. Sleep comes naturally when we do these 3 things. Another people worry about sleep a lot, but if we do these 3, sleep is not an issue.
Oh, I see movement there. Sorry, it was on the next page of my notes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that. Mindset, meals, and movement. You're so right. If you do that stuff, sleep will be easier. And sleep for midlife women is something that it's such a challenge for so many. That's really great. Well, how can people best get a hold of you?
My website is sensibleketo.com, because many people said, it's not really, I won't say like a strict keto diet or anything. It's a low carb lifestyle. But everybody said a healthy food is expensive. And keto is what helped me reverse type 2 diabetes. And that time I said, I'm going to create a program where people can eat healthy, but who are on a budget or want to save money and don't want to spend a lot of money on the food. So that's how that came up with the CENT. Yeah. It's a low carb lifestyle where you can eat healthy, save money, and live a better lifestyle.
Oh, that's so good. Jessy, thank you so much for taking the time of your day and sharing all of this. Your personal experience is very motivating. And now, again, even losing that engineering job, what remains is your inquisitive mind. and your
Yeah.
approach to figuring this out like an experiment,
I,
So good.
I want to give a tip to anybody who is
Oh, sure.
listening to this. If they're struggling to restrict the food they love, like cookies and brownies and desserts, and sweet sugar is poison. So if we want to control that, we need to learn how to slowly remove it. So one of the technique I teach is called there is no need to think about fear of missing out, because America has lots of food and anytime you can access. First, we need to accept the fact that there is no scarcity. We are living abundantly. And then I teach something called the 3-bite rule that has been very successful to enjoy the food you like. Like I said, there is no deprivation. If you really want something, you plan a day, set a day to enjoy that food in 3 bites. The 3 bites is, first bite is to just get a feel of the food there. Am I still liking it? Do I still need it? Am I going to enjoy it? Say if you are, it brings back some memories of back in, family time or mom's time, which I get. And then take the second bite and cherish it. Use your 5 senses to enjoy it. Bring the memories, whatever you have to cherish with it, enjoy it. And the last bite is to say, I know we have abundance. I don't need to eat all of it right now. I'm just happy with what I had now, and I don't need it anymore. Next time, I will enjoy it another time. So that is the 3 bites. 3 bites doesn't mean you have to stuff your mouth full or you have to eat one candy bar in 1 bite so that you can eat 3 candy bars. No, that's not what it means, because somebody told me that they ate candy bar. So I just have to remind myself to remind others that's not the intention. Intention is to savor the food that you love in the way you love. You want to enjoy it. Then say, next schedule another time to enjoy it, rather than thinking that you're not going to get any more and eating all of it at this time.
So good, so clear, so simple. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was really great to have you on.
Thank you, Suzy. Appreciate it. Hopefully some lives will be changed.
Oh, yeah. That's the point, right? You're doing such good work, and podcasts are very inspirational. I know I love podcasts, and I've certainly learned a lot. And I'm really hoping that if you're listening now that you got something really useful out of this podcast. I'm sure you did. So that is it for now. If you're listening and loving what you hear, please like and subscribe. Reviews are great too and much appreciated. And if you're a woman in the middle who's 50 or over and an entrepreneur and would also like to come on the show, please go to www.midlifeinterviews.com and fill out an application. We would love to have you on to share your story. Thanks so much for listening. It's never too late to put yourself on your agenda. I'm Suzy Rosenstein, and I'll talk to you again soon. Now, real quick before we say goodbye, if you are connecting with this show, I'd love to invite you to a happiness breakthrough coaching session. It's my laser-focused coaching call that will help you get clear about what's getting in your way as a woman in the middle entrepreneur and confident about your next steps to more happiness in your next chapter. Head over to www.nextchapterbreakthrough.com. Talk to you soon.